right, everybody, we are here at Doggers in Yelm. Now, to start out, we're going to be doing a lot of shoots here at Doggers because this is kind of a cool place. We're liking how we were welcomed. But Nerds Drink Whiskey has invaded Doggers, and I got to say, if you're local in the area, you know that Yelm gets a lot of jokes. Okay, they're always the butt of the jokes, but Dogger has found a way to make Yelm cool by having his place here. So I know it's fun to make jokes about Yelm, but come on down to Doggers, check it out, and you know, they're going to start having the featured whiskey of the week with Nerds Drink Whiskey here. So they've fully embraced us, we've fully embraced them, and we're going to have the man himself come up now and pour us a couple shots of Glenlivet. So Dogger himself, everybody round of applause can we have for Dogger himself, the bartender extraordinaire. All right. Remember, we want to be able to walk out of here, so light pours.
And so we start with Glenlivet. One of the reasons was that Dogger mentioned that it's his favorite whiskey. We then come to find out he's never actually had it by itself. So there's a little challenge to next time you're here, he has to actually tell us his opinion of Glenlivet, not just Glenlivet and soda.
Right. So there's a couple different ways that people can drink whiskey. The number one best way is neat, which is straight like this. You can also have it on the rocks. We are not allowed to drink it on the rocks on the show because every time we do, you people just like slam us with comments and make fun of us. And then of course there's if you are just evil, and you know, the ultimate sin is if you mix cola with it. So yeah. But
to be fair, we have had whiskeys that was the only way that it was palatable, but you had to find out the hard way.
Well, speaking of whiskeys like that, I think we mentioned this on Nerd News. So, by the way, if you haven't been following our Facebook page, we've been doing like a daily new Nerd News. We hope you people love that. Please comment your thoughts on that whenever you can. Your comments actually really help us out. But Willie Nelson, I believe it is coming out with his own line of whiskeys. We were really excited to hear that Willie Nelson is coming out with his own line of whiskeys. Then we heard who's doing the whiskey for him. And it's Angel's Envy.
Oh, God.
The most bland whiskey we've ever had on the show. So we're hoping that Willie Nelson and his people are able to take care of it and make sure that their whiskey is better than Angel's Envy bourbon. But anyways, we're gonna show you how to properly drink a whiskey here right now. First, yeah, there's the taste, there's the mouthfeel, and there's the finish. So the taste is when you first sip it. Then how it sits on your tongue is the mouthfeel, and then of course when you swallow, that's the finish. So let's see how Glenlivet is. Not bad, not bad. What's the proof on this?
I believe it's just the regular 40 proof.
Oh, it's a 12
The
year.
regular 80 proof, I think?
Yeah, 80.
Yeah, this is not bad for a 12 year. Yeah, 80 proof, okay. So single malt scotch. But I don't know, it's actually not too bad. What's your thoughts, Gabe?
Well, to tell you the truth, I've had this quite a few times before. Can't always afford it, but you know, I'm kind of the cheap one of all of us. But anyways, when it comes to Glenlivet, this is actually, I think, is a really good single malt scotch for a 12-year. You know, exceptionally smooth for what it is. There's nothing wrong with it at all, in my opinion. I would buy this just about any day of the week and twice on Sunday.
Okay, and how much is this a shot?
I'm not totally sure on that. I believe it's around a $50 or $60 bottle, if I'm not mistaken. That might be a little high.
You just about gave me a heart attack. I thought you were going to say it was $50 a shot.
No.
$7.50. Okay.
Which is a really good price for a
$7.50 a shot. Okay, that's pretty good.
All right, that's not bad. $7.50 for Glenlivet, 12 year. So
Yeah, I think the best thing about it is it's not the most sophisticated whiskey, but it's never going to let you down.
Very true.
It's kind of like I've been drinking a lot of the mixtures that we had on the show a couple months ago, and that's kind of mixtures. It's not the most. It doesn't have the most depth, but it's a good after-work whiskey. It's a good nightcap, go to bed, calm yourself down from the workday kind of whiskey. And that's kind of what I think of this. So.
Yeah, as you guys know, I'm a Scotch guy. When I first started drinking Scotch, it was pretty much Glenlivet, Glenfiddich. I think that's where everybody starts when they first start drinking Scotch, or good Scotch anyway. And this is, I mean, it's, like you say, it's good. I don't notice much between this and the regular one that's not aged as long, but it's good. It's a reasonable price for a single malt Scotch.
All right, so in closing this out, before we go to Nerd News, anybody in the audience have any comments on Glenlivet? Nobody have anything they want to say? Okay.
Sweet.
Who likes Scotch?
Hold on for a second here.
Just remember, she wants a shot.
Oh, she's getting a shot. What's your memories of Glenlivet?
The memory we had of Glenlivet was that it was sweet, that it had a more of a I don't know, I'll have to figure it out again. It's just the last time I remember having it, it was...
It's a very sweet taste. The initial taste is very sweet. It's got a very mild mouthfeel. Yeah. So here she is. This is...
Oh, just bring it here. Yeah, just, we're good.
I've got one of these at home and I haven't been drinking it. Maybe we'll have to go back to it.
Yeah, it's definitely. And what is your name?
I'm Tamara.
And?
I think it's a little sweet, pretty strong. I'm not a big whiskey guy, but it's good.
That's why you sip slowly. Yes. So our slogan on the show is always sip, never slam. So that way, because if you're slamming whiskey, you're enjoying the effect of the whiskey as opposed to enjoying the whiskey itself. So always sip, never slam. So if you guys haven't noticed, like I said, we've been doing nerd news during the week, and then at the end of the week, I compile it all together for the nerd news of the week. So I think in closing out, unless you guys have any final comments, I think we'll roll with the weekly nerd news. All right. Do you have any nerd news that we didn't catch in the dailies?
Not so much that we didn't catch the dailies. I mean, recently, obviously, there have been some big movies that come out. Deadpool came out yesterday. I don't think any of us have had a chance to see that yet.
I'm seeing it tomorrow.
Yeah, we're talking about that as well.
I'll be seeing it on Tuesday.
Cool. And Avengers. Has anyone seen the Avengers yet?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Twice.
Great. Yeah, twice here. We saw it twice. It seemed even more epic the second time. Great movie. If you haven't seen it, if you're into that, go for it.
Spoiler alert, I heard Darth Vader is actually Iron Man's grandfather.
That might be the case. I mean, they do have that shiny outfit kind of thing going on.
So, all right. So any other...
Let's see. Other than Deadpool coming out yesterday, there is some stuff coming up. Have you guys watched... there's a show on Netflix called The Toys That Made Us.
It's an excellent show.
Yes, it is.
It was great. It had Star Wars, G.I. Joe, Barbie, and He-Man. And they have cleared, and they are almost done filming. If they're not done, they're probably editing at this point. But season 2 is coming out. And I'm really hopeful for this. I think it's going to be great. It is going to have Legos, Star Trek, Hello Kitty, and my favorite, the Transformers. So
there you go.
Oh yeah, looking forward to that. Funko also has a show coming out about the same time. The Toys That Made Us.
Funko is going to be its own show?
Yeah, Funko is making its own show. Big surprise there. But the Toys That Made Us, that's coming out on May 25th, so that's next Friday, I think. Same date as Solo, a Star Wars story. So we're all looking forward to that. And on the 24th, the day before, Funko is basically making its own documentary. It's called Funko Making Fun. I'm looking forward to that too, because I recently got into the whole Funko thing, and once you start collecting those, you just kind of keep
It's pretty
going
addicting.
at it.
So, yeah, it's. I got one thing to say about Solo. Opie, please save us now.
And before we go any further, if you could grab something out of the bag. I got you something. Since I wasn't able to air it on the show, I decided to get you something else. This is a really, really late Christmas gift.
Oh no, this is. We make a practice on this show of messing with each other during Christmas and buying each other the most ridiculous Christmas presents we can find. So I got him really good with what was it called? It
You
was
got the
Dingleberries.
They
Yes,
were chocolate-covered gummy bears called Dingleberries. It was just epic.
Yes,
Great gift.
it was beautiful.
This isn't so much a gag gift, but I know it's something near and dear to Mark's heart. It's the tick.
The tick, yes. Now, so the tick, I have had a long relationship with the tick. Big fan of the comic book series. Look through your hedges for ninjas. And I love the comic book. I love the cartoon. The Patrick Warburton live action was decent. It was okay. It could have been better. I think the new version, which this is the new tick by the look of the costume, and it's a great show, but I wish it would have been its own thing, because it's beautiful if it wasn't the tick. It's beautifully done if it wasn't the tick. But the fact that it's the tick, it's like, that's not the tick. So they've kind of rebooted the tick. They've made it into a whole new thing, and it's very well done. But it did take me, as a longtime tick fan, it did take me a long time to get used to the new version of the tick. But yeah, highly recommended on Amazon Prime, I believe.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so cool. So we're going to roll with this week's Nerd News, and we'll be back next week for another episode of Nerds Drink Whiskey at Doggers.
And thanks to Doggers.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Aragorn will be the focus of Amazon's Lord of the Rings series. This new story will take place before the events of the Fellowship of the Rings. It is rumored that the story follows soon after the events of The Hobbit. Halle Berry and Angelica Houston joined cast for John Wick Chapter 3 movie. Already announced was Keanu Reeves, Lawrence Fishburne, Ian McShane, and Lance Reddick. Chad Stahelski will be the director. The release date is May 17, 2019. Obi-Wan Kenobi movie is still a rumor? Fantatrack says that they have a studio source. Their source says that pre-production has begun. An art department has started work. Release date is 2020. Filming starts in 2019. Which Star Wars standalone movie do you think is next?